early retirement, and divorce. So, if you can retire early, and in many cases you can, but you wait too long, definitely try to retire early. Some people have jobs where you could retire at 55 and get a pension. If that's your situation, I encourage you to do it. Don't wait. Don't wait till it's too late and you don't have the health or the time to do all the things that you want to do when you retire. If you're not in that situation with you can retire at 55 and have a income, then there are other ways, you know, that you can do it. I'm 59, but I retired 2 years ago, and I didn't have that pension option, but I came up with a different plan. And that plan was, to sell the marital home. We lived in Massachusetts. The market, real estate market there is crazy. But I saw that as an opportunity that if we sold the house, that we might even get more than what we asked for it, which we did, and then we would have a large, lump of cash to buy, another house somewhere else. And in this case, we picked Florida. Now, I thought about this, I ran the numbers, and things kind of turned out the way that I predicted in terms of a lot of the numbers. But the big mistake that I made in my calculations was to not consider the possibility of divorce after selling the house, after moving to Florida, after buying another house, that was a possibility. And I heard or read somewhere recently that the average of marriage in the United States lasts 7 years. I didn't fact check that, but in my experience, that's not too far off. Um, and and I know that the divorce rate is at least 50%. So I should have factored that in to my early retirement plan. So that was a mistake. So I encourage you to think about that. If I could go backwards a couple of years, I still would have gone through with the early retirement plan, selling the marital home. But what I would have done differently to offset or to incorporate that divorce variable possibility would have been to rent the house in Florida. That way, if things went awry, it would be a lot easier to go our separate ways. Because part of this calculation, we were both empty nesters. We had kids from, prior marriages, so there wasn't that complication there. But so it would have made the divorce process a lot easier if we had decided to rent instead of buying that retirement home. And and actually, after in the first year of retirement, when we were still married, I did think of an estate plan, right? Because I was thinking about what would happen if one or both of us died. How would what would happen to our assets in terms of division between our children? And of course, we decided to divide, our assets. We both died equally amongst the children. Then we had the, different things based on, if one of us survived the other. So I think you should have an estate plan too, but you also got to consider that divorce variable. Just my advice. So, if this video takes off, I'm not a financial planner and I'm not an attorney or something. I'm just giving you my own personal experiences and mistakes. So maybe you can avoid my current situation. So um, that's what I wanted to tell you today. Just talking about early retirement. Do it. Don't wait. Um, if you don't want to move, right? If you love where you live, you can still retire, right? I mean, if you love your job, then you're not even thinking about that. Um, but if you don't love going to work every day, if you don't love the house that you're in, or you don't love the environment or whatever, like if there's anything you want to do before your time runs out, you've got to take advantage of that before it's too late. You got to do it when you're healthy enough to do it. Because if you wait too long and you try to pile up, the perfect amount of money in the perfect scenario, you may not have the health to do what you want, or may not have the confidence to do it by yourself, right? So if you do have a divorce or you do have a death, then are you going to be able to do these things that you want to do by yourself? You know, and that's the phase that I'm looking forward to. I want to do some things, which I'll do another video about, and maybe I can get some help this time, because I didn't ask for help when I was coming up with this retirement plan. I'm kind of from this latchkey generation where we try to do everything ourselves and we don't ask for help. And when we do ask for help, we don't necessarily take the advice. So I'm trying to change that a little bit and moving forward. But I just wanted to give you my 2 cents on the early retirement, and definitely factor in that the possibility of divorce, no matter how strong you think your relationship might be, because things change. I was working 6 days a week, 60, sometimes up to 60 hours a week. And then when you're together with somebody all the time, 24/7, and you change locations and situations, maybe you're not compatible anymore. So just something to consider. And I'll be doing another video on some other topics soon. And just in case, you want to subscribe or something, that would be great. But I'm just doing this to, get stuff off my chest. And if it can help anybody else, one person, great. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.